Many congratulations, Lux and Colgate, and let me be the first to give two very enthusiastic thumbs up to our winner and defending champion, Nokia. It's now time to speak to the Nokia India MD, D. Shiv Kumar, on how he beat out 99 other brands to retain his title. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row, despite Nokia being surrounded by some very severe challenges.
We'll connect people to what matters to them most. A brand which delivers on its promise.
रात को भी चलता है.
Shiv, you cannot deny that, you were today going through the toughest phase in your career, at least when it comes to Nokia. Given the situation, how do you think the consumer voted you again the most trusted brand? I mean, there is so much competition. You've been losing market share. It's been a very, very uncomfortable journey for the last few months, the last 1 year, if I could put it
I would
like
say,
that.
when you look at consumers, the consumers don't look at business performance on a quarter-to-quarter basis or on a week-to-week basis. They don't do that.
Sure.
Trust is both a very rational thing and an emotional thing.
Right.
At a rational level, the consumer is asking, okay, I trust you. Okay, I have laid my trust in your hands. Do you deliver on that or not? Which is about predictability, which is about continuity and things like that. Then equally, he looks at the continuing aspect to be laden with some change, like innovation.
What, in your opinion, in hindsight, of course, did you do wrong?
The whole mobile phone industry is an absolutely high innovation industry. It's also a high failure industry.
Sure.
So if you have, let's take 10 innovations in mobile phones, if you get 6 or 7 right, you're very lucky. Okay, you'll always miss 2 or 3. That's the nature of this market. But when you make up, when you come back in a Nokia way, then you gain all the way back. For example, if I were to refresh your memory, if we go back to 2006, a lot of people said we don't have a slim phone. Okay, but when Nokia came back with its own version of slim phone, there was no further discussion. So currently the big discussion is we don't have a dual SIM phone. That's fair. We don't have representation in one segment of the market. Yeah, sure, we don't have representation. But when we have that representation in a few weeks from now, you will see a very dramatic picture after that. And that is what is the trust of the Nokia brand.
Looking at the wars you're facing at the top end and at the bottom end with players like Micromax and Carbon, and the top end with players like the BlackBerry, Apple, the Android operating system, what would you say your position is? Let me give you 3 adjectives: shaky, resurgent, or on the right path. But don't answer that. You have a beautiful office. Let's go in and take it there.
So in answer to your question on the global situation, the fact is Nokia is on the resurgent path very clearly. For example, what we noticed in the Indian consumer is that the consumers were spending much less time on voice and much more time on the phone in terms of music, in terms of pictures, etc.
Right.
And hence, storage became a very important aspect for the phone. So we've just launched a phone in April called 2690, which already in a matter of 90 days has become the 2nd largest mobile phone in this country. So you can get one model right, you can get 2 models right. But what Nokia does well is to consistently get over 15-20 models right quarter on quarter. It's not a business where you can come in and walk in for a month or 2 and then think that you arrived. It's not a business like that.
So you're saying that for the Carbons and the Micromaxes of the world,
I'm not saying that.
You're fly-by-night operators, but we're the big things, we're here to stay.
I wouldn't say that. This business requires much more staying power than most other people give it credit for. Okay, the next big thing certainly is N8, which is a high-end device, which is a touchscreen phone. I think what this will do is, settle the debate in terms of Nokia's capacity to deliver a top-of-the-line touch phone.
That's great. Lots more to ask you, Shiv. But before that, can you offer me a cup of coffee?
Sure thing. Let's walk up to the cafeteria.
Okay. Lovely coffee, Shiv.
Thank you.
Let me put you on the spot and ask you, what is D. Shiv Kumar's 3 most trusted brands apart from Nokia?
I'm a nervous flyer. That's because my dad passed away in an air accident. So for me, if I would travel in India, it would be a combination of Kingfisher and Jet, depending on the time and the destination. I would say in the area of shaving, I would say Gillette, both the system as well as the gel. I think that is something which I've always used. Let me give you a true story. July 25th, when that huge deluge was there in Bombay, 2005. You won't believe this. From the airport, I walked in this deep water with 2 of my colleagues, Amar Jyoti and Nurgesh, all the way to Mahim before I took a cab home. I was living in Pravadevi. That day I was wearing ballet shoes. Okay. Believe it or not, I walked for 2 hours through the water, went home, dried the shoes out, and I could wear them back in a day. Okay, and I actually wrote to the company saying this is fantastic. This is a personal story that I'd like you guys to take notice of.
Shiv, next year, this time, same place, what do you think? Where do you think Nokia will stand in the brand equities, most trusted brands?
I would think...
punt on it.
Yeah. Next year, same time, you will ask me far less negative questions about the Nokia business and far more positive questions about how Nokia has, really moved, not inches, but miles in all the gaps we've had. And I don't think we'll do anything next year not to deserve it again next year.
Thank you so much for joining us on Brand Equity.
Thank you.